Hello, folks. We're live on Veterans Day 2020, Wild Card Wednesday, which is a day in which we, our night, well, in Beer Man's case, this day, in which we, we just review whatever beer, wine, or liquor people want to drink. I'm in Louisiana, and tonight I have the great pumpkin from Elysian Brewing. Nice. And we have Ron Rico, also known as Ronnie S. and Ron Rio. He is from Florida, and he has...
Oh, I have the Florida Orange IPA.
Nice.
And it's made by the Three Daughters Brewing. It's out of St. Petersburg, Florida. 6.9% ABV. 62 IBUs. Yeah, I don't think this is a very nationwide beer. I think it's pretty local.
Now, Bumpy Road Brewing is in New Hampshire, and he has an unusual beer he said he bought for James P. Madonna.
Haiki Rice Saison.
Wow. Weird.
Comes in at 5.7% ABV. From Liar's Bench Beer Company. They're out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Bumpy actually said off air that he was considering Rice Saison to be one of his styles for Multi Monday.
Yeah, a lot of
listen
people
to that guy.
You got to fill up a 10-person panel with that one.
Yeah, be like a 2-person. I haven't heard from James P. Madonna this week. He might be ill or something. But he might show. All right, so Beer Man is in Oregon. We've got the South, the North, and the West.
You look pretty well represented.
Corners. This one's called when Sovs something. I don't know, but it's a Pilsner, and it's a Pilsner Divin. So it's got a quarter of Sauvignon Blanc juice, 3/4 Pilsner malt. It's hopped and dry hopped with Nelson Sauvin and Eldorado. It's a 5% ABV, served in a pint here, obviously. But sounded different, so yeah.
Never heard of that one before. But that's
where are they from, real quick? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Lowercase.
Where are they from?
Lowercase Brewing Company out of Seattle.
Okay. All right. Michael Komarov is in Brooklyn, New York City, New York, and he is bringing.
He's bringing the heat.
I hope it's not Bourbon County because he'll be in a hospital tonight if he drinks 2 of those. Okay.
New Belgium.
Lime.
Lager.
Hope that says lime and not slime. All right.
I like New Belgium. I never heard of that one.
Now going back to New England, we have Nina Yordi joining with.
I've got. Where did I just do with my can? I just had it a second ago. In front of my glass. There we go. Narragansett beer tonight in the classic Jaws can.
I've heard of them. I can't find them.
Yeah, Narragansett is good. Is that the classic Narragansett?
Yeah, the original.
That's a
Michelob Amberbach glass.
Yeah, the old 1975 Narragansett design.
Narragansett is an old New York beer, right?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Narragansett, Rhode Island.
People are reporting their internet is screwed up, that their YouTube is running real slow. I was noticing when I was watching a beer review before I set this up, all the last couple of days when I go to get on a video, it take a long time for it to get going. Usually it's a lot faster. I mean, it'll play. So I say, well, I didn't pay much mind to it, but now when everybody's reporting that their YouTube is going slow, that's making me think that's some kind of problem. It's not my site.
YouTube the past few days, I haven't had any problem. I mean, I've been watching videos. I haven't tried to go live at all.
So nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching.
2 people. Well, you know what happens sometimes with this? If you
I shared you
when
out.
the
If anything.
YouTube's having problems. Well,
I
what
can-
happens is
Maybe we should start over.
when it's having when it's having problems, and then or it could be StreamYard problems. When you go to watch the replay, it'll work fine. You know, it's like
It's
there's
YouTube.
James now. Yeah, you can watch the replay. Now there's James down there. We're gonna add.
Just spinning.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't control that.
Wow, look at that.
I don't think starting over is going to do any good. All right, because we can all hear each other fine.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
So we're going to add James after we all do our beers. So I will put on my glasses so I can see what's going on. Here's the Great Pumpkin. It's from Elysian, and I'll read the spec. It's 8.4% alcohol, 20 international bitterness units. They say it's sold in 22-ounce bottles and in draft, but I have a 12-ounce bottle, so obviously their website needs to be corrected. It's an Imperial Pumpkin Ale. The malts are pale, Munchen, Carahel, C20, and C45, and it's bittered with Magnum hops. So there you go on that. I'll open it, and I go first, not for rudeness. I go first because it's hard for me to keep track of all this. And once I do mine, it's easier to just kind of like keep up with comments and all. We probably won't have many tonight. YouTube is very slow. See, they're saying it's YouTube is slow. YouTube in general is slow. Okay. Now, there's not much I can do about that. Okay. There is the orange beer. It's hazy. It's going to be very strong. Now, I would be glad. I'm glad I'm not drinking a 500 milliliter bottle of this. I already feel 8.4. I already feel stuffed because that Church's chicken was, they give you too much food. You ever hear people complain about a restaurant giving too much food? Okay. Ooh. Smells like pumpkin pie spices, and it does kind of have a strong ale aroma. So cheers to you all. We're going into the taste now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ron.
If people are having trouble getting their YouTube to play, they might want to set it at the low setting of like 240, and it might be able to come through that way. Because visuals don't really matter that much on a thing like this.
Well, you like to see the beard.
Yeah, it hurts. This beer is pretty bitter. I got to tell you, it's got bitter spices on one hand, and on the other hand, I forgot to highlight myself. Sorry about that. It's got bitter spices on one hand, and on the other hand, it has bitter ale qualities. It's just like the ale. If you took all the spices out, the ale itself would be bitter. I guess because of the hops and whatever. So then you combine the 8.4, gives it a lot of kind of strong beer flavor. I wouldn't say necessarily alcohol booziness, but the whole thing here is high gravity. You know what I'm saying? So I like it a lot, but I think I prefer other ones from the I'm gonna try something on mute and take it personally, anybody, because I know who's got some feedback sometimes. I like all 4 of the variety pack that came out in the late summer, but I think the one I like the least is the Great Pumpkin. Not because it's bad or faulty in any way, just because I prefer the experience of the other ones better. The coffee one, the standard Elysian Night Owl with the typical pumpkin beer thing going on, and the other one. But this is really good. I mean, it's great. And if heavy body, sort of a heavy body and a medium dry finish. If you can find it, buy it, especially if you can get a single. But if you got to get the whole 12 pack, and I got it for $18.99, you got to go for it. My friend David went and bought it after he heard about it. We tried it at his house. He had to run over there and get it at the place called Bromart. Bromart's the only place that had it that I can tell. And he still got some left because he does beer museum work more than beer drinking, I think. I'm trying to get him to expedite that museum before the beer all fossilizes, you know. But anyway, so this was very nice, and I got more to drink. So now we're off to Ron Rico, who's going to talk about his very rare product.
All right, so again, this is the can. It's called the Florida Orange IPA. Right here is the brewery, Three Daughters Brewing, that's out of St. Petersburg. I've had quite a few of these. It's a very local beer. When you go to the local bars and restaurants, they have a lot of the Three Daughters on tap, or they have the cans for you. But I guess it doesn't have a huge distribution as far as selling 6 packs or whatever it may be. So 6.9% for this guy, 62 IBUs. It is. That's how it looks. It had a small head. Obviously it went down, but the 12-ounce can filled up this whole glass. So it's pretty dark looking. It's a little bit lighter in person here, but it looks a little darker on the camera. I got the 6-pack of cans for $9.99 at a Valero gas station yesterday. So not a bad price, I guess, for an IPA. Pretty average.
How much again?
$9.99. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing spectacular. I think it's pretty average for IPA.
Yeah, this day and age, yeah.
Now the smell is it's actually smells like orange a lot, like an orange peel. That's what I would say that the main smell is orange. So I don't know if it's real orange, if it's artificial flavor. Let me see how Ron always looks up these. It says it's artificial on the can.
Oh well, if it's artificial, then it's some kind of chemical compound or whatever that's made to mimic orange.
Yeah, it doesn't say if it's like natural flavors or artificial flavors.
What does it say?
I don't see it saying anything.
Should be a disclosure somewhere on that label to tell you exactly what you're drinking.
It has that craft brewer sign there, the bottle.
That just means they're part of Craft Brewers Association.
I don't know. I don't see it. It's a little dark here, so I can't read the whole can.
Okay. Well,
going for the sip. Cheers, guys.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Ronnie.
This is good. Tastes good. It's it tastes a bit like orange too, like if you're sucking on an orange, which I think it must be a natural flavor because it really comes through. I'd say that about the orange on this one. It's 6.9, which is kind of high ABV, and it's definitely an easy sipper. It's I'd say a light to medium mouthfeel. Yeah, it's good. It tastes good. Let me see what the date is on this thing here. All right, that's on wacky date, as usual. I don't know what that means, right?
Too much glare. I can't see it.
You see that? 195.62. I don't know if that's supposed to be the date.
Sometimes they're almost indecipherable, like you have to use the Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, well, I mentioned that on Alcohol Eggs. Somebody put a comment or put a post about dates, and I said, I don't care if it's the born on date or if it's the sell by date. At least it's some kind of date that you can at least read. it's better than it just these stupid numbers and letters that you have no idea what it means. And this happens to me a lot.
What's the name again? Because people aren't able to see it on the other end, so I'm just typing stuff in the chat.
It's called Florida Orange IPA,
Okay.
and it's by Three Daughters Brewing. I don't think this is a very popular one. I doubt if you're not local to this area, you probably won't be able to find anything out about it. I don't even know if they have a website.
Oh, it's
But
really
it's a good beer. I mean, if it's it doesn't taste like it's out of date. So
Sounds good.
yeah, it is good. It tastes like orange. As far as other
Florida natural or more of a Minute Maid?
no, definitely not Minute Maid. It really tastes like you have an orange and you're sucking on like an orange peel.
None of that.
No, not. It's not a
Tampico?
fake thing like a Tampico. Nothing. It really tastes like a real orange. So, yeah, that's a
Alright.
plus, and it's not bitter. So it's got quite a bit of IBU, 62, and it's not on the bitter side. I wouldn't say. It's definitely not kind of like a West Coast type IPA where it's where you can taste the bitterness. It really isn't like that. And so it's good. For what I like, I don't like very, very bitter IPAs, so I'd enjoy this, and then I would buy it again. It's not the best price. If I can get like a single for like $1, I'd buy it. I don't know if I want to pay $9.99 for it again, but no, this is good. This is good. 6.9%. You can probably have quite a few of these. You don't really notice the alcohol. You don't notice the IBUs. It's not very bitter. It's got a nice orange taste. It's called Florida Orange, so I guess it's doing its namesake right, and yeah, it's pretty good. I don't have much to complain about with this beer. It's my first time having it, so I'll ponder on the grade.
Nice.
So are we gonna go up the road? I guess Ron left. So usually he does it geographically, right?
Can people hear in the chat?
Yeah.
Just I'm just curious. Can people
I have
hear?
it on my phone, and like this is all I see. I'm not getting the video.
Yeah, that's all I get to.
Well, it's going in the can, I guess, for a while.
But they are chatting, right? So maybe they can hear, but they can't see it.
That's what I was curious about.
Can you hear in the chat?
Bumpy,
I guess I'm
big
going.
screen.
So what I'm bringing is the Haiki Rice Saison. It's from Liar's Bench Beer Company out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. This comes in at 5.7% ABV. It's 12 IBUs. The malt uses Pilsner and toasted flaked rice. The hops are Czech Saaz. And then it has this nice little story. It says #empty lies. What follows is a Korean chant, one sung before a shot of sake. Sake being a fermented rice beverage that inspired the contents of this can. What follows was relayed to us via an interpersonal, cross-cultural game of garbled telephone, and in the spirit of Liar's Bench, cannot be verified, which is to say, it may be a lie. But entertains, which is to say, it's awesome. What follows goes like this. Nandi, 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 Haiki, which translates to, we think, take it down. So let me go ahead and pour this and see what this thing's about.
That was quite a story.
It was. So it's got the tight white bubble. Well, not really tight white bubbles because they're starting to get larger. It's got a rocky white head. We'll say that.
Straw.
Color of the beer itself is that nice kind of straw to a lighter yellow, vibrant yellow, but light, very, very clear. Can't really see the carbonation. Well, there's a little bit of carbonation flowing up through there. The aromas, lots of lemon, like lemon zest, lemongrass type notes. It does have the saison kind of funky yeastiness to it. A little bit of that barnyard type aroma. Horse blanket, a little hint of chewing gum on that one, bubble gum. About it for the aromas. Let's go in for the first swig. So cheers.
Cheers, puppy.
Cheers.
Cheers to Bumpy.
Late cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, it's flavors are that of that barnyardy type funk, the horse blanket type deal going on with that. There's a little bit of like a rice cake, I guess I would call it rice cake flavor, with a little bit of like a bread note, a little bit of a white bread note mixed in there with that as well. There's a tad bit of that lemon zest tail end of it. It's not as prominent as it was in the aromas. A little bit of the bubble gum. I didn't mention that. The flavor seems to be a light body. It's drying to the palate a little bit. Not super drying, but does do a drying back. Carbonation is it's just low medium, I'd say. I'll just say medium carbonation. It's got a fizziness to it. A little bit of a sweetness as well. The flavor beyond the little bit of horse blankety funkiness and lemon zest type stuff. Kind of sweet with the rice cake and bread note comes through. So yeah, I'll thinking about the score for this one. That's what I got. Cheers.
Sounds good, Bumpy.
All right. Yeah, mine finally came back on.
It's working for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's working on the YouTube side. So this one's called, like I said, When Sav's Crew or something. Pilsner Divin. It's got, like I was saying, quarter of it is Sauvignon Blanc juice. It's very wine influenced. I asked him, I was like, is it going to be like a brewed IPA or like a real dry? He's like, it's a little bit, it's dry, but it's interesting. So I'm really interested now as to what it's going to be like. It says on the bottom, please don't sue. And then it says 1026. All right, let me pour this. Come on, it's from Washington.
Oh,
Yeah, it's going over for sure. I'm just gonna let it go.
I'm just gonna let it go.
Sorry about my language. I don't know how you are with that, but sorry about that. Screw it. It went over. All right, so we're going with a three-finger head. Definitely a pour from Almighty God Himself. Here we go. Oh, it's very hoppy, very dry hoppy, very, very dry hoppy. It has a nice kind of a spice to it, a floral spice. Smells like the lupiol and the pollen, another pollen beer. Gosh, that's really good. Really good. White head, foamy, tight bubbles, thick, frothy meringue-like head. It does have a bit of an oily presence on the side. It's a golden beer. It's straw gold. It's got a chill haze. They dry hop this, so you're gonna see some chill haze in this. Very big bubbles, little bubbles, kind of effervescent, pushy, bumpy inside. Not Bumpy Road Brewery, but bumpy inside with bubbles. It's kind of just like boom, bang, boom, and then little bubbles streaming up. Yeah, very nice though. Nothing crazy, a little effervescent. Let's go for the drink. Cheers.
Sure.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers, beer man.
man.
What was the? Oh, that's good.
What's the IBU?
5.1%. So it does have a nice light body. It's but it also has a chewy body, a chewy mouthfeel. Let's say, you get more of like a lemon citrus in the middle of the tongue, up in the palate. There, it's very, very lemon citrusy, very smooth, very creamy, almost just very nice. I've been getting a lot of smooth and creamy beers lately. I don't know what's up with that, but very smooth and creamy, delightful, thirst quenching, very kind of a light mouthfeel or body. It's just, I don't know. I like the lemon feel on this. I really like the lemon citrus. Dry in the back. It's got a dry, medium fast finish. Hoppy, fresh hops, lupulin and pollen just like pours out of this. Very fresh hopped. Wow. Tangy up on the hard palate, and it kind of, as it pushes toward your soft palate, it starts to dry off and get real just lemony. It's really nice.
Is it a shandy? Like, what would you call that? It's like a
not a shandy. It's you definitely get your bready malts though. You're getting your maltiness. You're getting your beer feel.
What is the style of beer?
It's a pilsner.
Right on.
And it's very drinkable though. It's a very drinkable pilsner. The grapes, I'm getting kind of a sour grape, a sour. I want to say white grape or something. Very, very nice and vinny on that end. Just very good. It does kind of have a brewed IPA, but without that IPA hoppiness. Just very subtle, relaxed, drinkable. Loving this beer, man. This is really good. Cheers. Got my numbers. Thanks, Ron.
Cheers, man.
Nice.
So it's a pilsner. That's the style of it.
A well done pilsner, an Americanized pilsner.
Is it doughy? I mean, it's got that haze to it. Like
It's
nice.
chewy. It's chewy. Maybe a French bread
Gotcha.
dough
That's a good
or
pilsner.
something. That's what I'm getting, I think.
Is it like a 6% ABV? I didn't catch that part.
It's a 5.1. It's
Alright.
very sessionable, very drinkable, thirst quenching, and the perfect dryness at the end. It's just sensational. It really is. The chewiness is beautiful. And the hoppiness. The dry hops are beautiful. The grapes are beautiful. I love it.
Cool.
And you said that's out of Portland?
Washington.
Yeah, Seattle.
Seattle. Yep. Yeah.
Cool. Probably can't get that over here.
Yeah, it's new to me too. I've never heard of them. He really liked it, so he pointed it out to me and I bought it.
There's a great craft one down the street from me. I think I did it on your cheese program once. It's the Poor Judgment Pilsner. Oh, it's so good, but it's
Nice.
a little expensive. About $12 for a 6-pack.
Oh, wow.
6% alcohol, though. It's a real. It's a drinker's beer. I really.
That's a lot for me. I mean, that $12 is a lot.
$12.
It really
I
is.
mean, it's getting up there, but if it's good,
Good
you know,
pilsner.
it might be worth it.
Yeah. Totally.
Hello.
Michael Cormorant. There he is.
Okay, so this is from New Belgium, which is out of Fort Collins, Colorado, and also now Asheville, North Carolina. And this is their out of their Up Next series. It's their Sparkling Lime Lager, and it's 4.4% ABV. I do not know what the IBUs are. It's not on the bottle. Here goes your pour in my nondescript pint glass.
Have you ever had this, Michael?
I have not. It came in a mixed pack with 2 of the Voodoo Ranger series. And what was the fourth one? Fourth one was a wheat.
Tire.
A regular wheat. Let's see what the name of the wheat beer was, because I did write it down. It's Mothership Wheat. Vit. Mothership Vit. So this is what it looks like in the glass, and you can see it's yellow, clear yellow, with a really strong bubble stream.
Yeah, a lot of bubbles.
All along the side, and the head is white, but it's very thin. And I have a feeling, although there's no way to know this for sure, that the head is not going to stay here that long. But I've been wrong about that before.
There it goes. There it goes.
It's still there, though. Still here. All right, so I'm going to take a nose on it. Well, the nose is lime, and it's not artificial lime. It smells like a regular lime, like you would squeeze. See what else is there in there, if anything else. It just has that general lagerish kind of smell, which I guess is hard to describe what it is. Everybody who's on the panel probably has smelled lager. So you could tell there that the base beer of this is a lager. But I'm going to go in there and take a sip. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Wow. Okay, it's very light, but the lime taste again is natural, and it's mostly what I'm getting. It's a little bit above being watery, so it's not quite watery, but it's very light-bodied, and this would be considered an easy drinking kind of lawnmower beer, a summer type beer maybe. As you can see from the bubbles, there's a lot of carbonation in it, so it's highly carbonated. Doesn't have a lot of different tastes going on though. Mostly lime, and maybe there's another backup citrus as well beside the lime. But it's mostly lime. I think I would get this again, but this wouldn't be something which I would have you could drink many more than one, but I probably wouldn't drink more than one, because it's interesting, but it's a one-note beer. But it's a lime lager, I guess, for what they're trying to do. I guess it's there. I'll come back and have a number for you.
That looked like a delicious beer.
No, it's a good beer. It's good.
Nice.
Oh, hey everybody! I've been enjoying this. It's a nice hoppy lager. It's just I can't believe I snooze on this. Wasn't cheap though. I think I paid about. It wasn't expensive, but it was $4.99. In this can tax state, so 6 times 5 on top of that, 5 cents a can. I got another one of these that was hanging around in my refrigerator with King or Saint Gambrius on it from their Oktoberfest. There was a statue of him outside of the Narragansett Beer factory back when they, had these cans primarily. These were the 1970s cans. Funny enough, it says on the side of the can, Narragansett Brewing Company, Rochester, New York. Send your mail, write us at 60 Ship Street, Providence, Rhode Island. So we've got a location crisis for this beer, brewed on contract in Rochester. I don't think it's impacting the quality. I want to say this is about 150 calories. I think it's like 12 IBU. So it's a solid beer, 5% alcohol, 4.8 it was in the 70s, but it's up to the 5% now. The hop totally takes away from the slight appley, grassy hay quality that you get from the way they brew this beer. And we used to be able to get it in 40s. I don't know what was special about the 40s, but it was a cheaper taste of the beer. You ended up with like that butt of the beer. There was like some of it that fell out of suspension, and you had like a little bit of a haze in the bottom of your 40. And these cans must be like a higher tolerance to the quality, but they don't seem to have that. You get a well-balanced beer. These are great. It's a session beer, in my opinion. It doesn't bug your guts like those Yellow Belly Coors beers. It's just an excellent drinkable beer. It kind of has a bum rap in my neighborhood because it's the $1.50, music night kind of beer that they have, live music night. So I don't know, sitting at home drinking it out of your refrigerator at perfect temperature in a nice glass. It's an excellent beer. And these cans. Finally, my YouTube's awake. Nice. We got YouTube back on the Eastern Seaboard here. So, I don't know. What is there to say about Narragansett? It's a staple. It's a good beer. I know there are people who see it next to Steel Reserve and must think, I got an aversion to that. I don't have that aversion because it's everywhere. Quality drink. It's better than the other New York beer, just the regular Genesee. It's a premium beverage. It's not your Budweiser. It's not as hot. It's got a little bit of a syrupiness to it, but still a crisp finish. If Budweiser was your Coke and your Royal Crown, so what do you call it? The RC Cola was your Coors beer. I'm thinking you're kind of in like Faygo territory with this, but you're also. I'm not an expert on sodas, but I'm gonna have to put this like where your Dr. Pepper would be. It's a solid standby. You shouldn't be afraid of it if you see it up there with Budweiser or any of these higher legacy kind of beers. It's great. It doesn't have a weird taste. I never get a corn taste from Narragansett. So I think the patron saint of beer here, King Gambrius, isn't going to do you wrong, and you're going to be happy with your Narragansett beer. So hi neighbor, this is for you. Cheers out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I like what she's. I like that review. There's some funny stuff in there. Faygo territory. Okay, now James P. Madonna joined us, but I was off the broadcast, so I couldn't say anything. But I wanted to say we need James to introduce us with the bells, the bells, the bells, the bells, the bells.
Oh, you want me to do it on thumbnail?
Any kind of way you want. We need some bells to launch this. We need
I thought
7.
you want a close up of the bells.
I
guess you don't want to. But tis the season. Hail Krampus. Okay. Ronald Theriot, instead of the communion wafer, I think they should offer Church's chicken. Well, it says church. It's Church's chicken. Why not? All right. I got here Black Cat Extra Smooth Golden Rum from Suriname, South America. All right. And let's see. A lot of people are very devout. Didn't get much of a chuckle. The distinctive taste and unparalleled character of Black Cat Rum have taken this exceptional spirit. And believe me, there's a lot of people I would like to make spirits by cracking this right over the head. To domestic and international acclaim. This intriguing rum from Suriname, a tropical paradise on the northeast coast of South America, was awarded the prestigious Monde Selection Medal or gold medal, whatever, 1977 in Luxembourg, and it is the usual 40% alcohol, and I guess maybe Suriname was a Dutch colony, perhaps, I don't know. It's imported by a company, WTC Import and Export West Palm Beach, and it's sabrum.com is the website, SABRUM. All right, let me taste this. Yeah, Church's chicken tastes much better than a wafer. Can smell the molasses. Dutch Guiana. Oh yeah, I said like what do you call Curacao, Bonaire, the Antilles. Definitely a smooth añejo tasting. Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire. It's kind of, they're dry down there. Margarita Island I've been to, off Venezuela. That's all cactus. No hurricanes, which is strange. I can taste the molasses. It's definitely like a very smooth añejo flavor. Strong though, as far as the molasses and the smoothness. I like this, and I like Cruzan rum, but this is the most flavorful, I think, out of many of the little-known rums that are not expensive. Others would be like a Bacardi Black, the Cruzan line. Yes, it's definitely smooth, like a good añejo. Maybe that's why it says extra smooth. They don't use the word añejo in Suriname, but I have a feeling that's what it is. I think the average rum is aged 2 years in an oak barrel. And I know they have different, like with Scotch whiskey, they have different
Right.
aging. It's been very warm and humid this week, and it's going down to back to autumn tomorrow. Thankfully, I don't know what this weather's nuts, but anyway.
You getting any rain, James?
All day, 2 days today. Rain, but it's a nice moisturizing, foggy mist. You know, like
Good.
when they spray the produce in the market. It's nice. It's but the humidity I don't like. Now, what's the name of that saint? I want to see if I can get the statue of that saint on Amazon Prime.
Gambrius, I guess his name is. He
Ambrius or
Gambrinus.
Cambrinus. I hope you have
Gam-
congestion up here. Cambrinus?
Yeah, Gambrinus.
Gambrinus. Anyway, it's good rum. Oh, did I? The glass that me and Ronald love so much.
Right.
Only $1. Thick. Long lasting, and it won't shatter in the freezer. Excellent rum. I'll give a score later, like everybody says.
good deal.
Tiny bubbles. Cambrinus, wake up. the Dutch still own a number of Caribbean island territory. Oh, they do. What about Grenada? Is that independent?
He must be a tax haven or something, the Dutch, with their all the boats are registered there from Holland.
Really? Because the Dutch people are a little tight with the dollar, like, you know, and I've known some, and except Goldmember from Austin Powers. I didn't know him, but I know he was Dutch. But yeah, there's many tax havens. The Cayman Islands is a popular one. But
They must have been, besides Portugal, they were like a major export kind of group. They brought all of our goods here pretty much.
Now, Belize was a British colony. They don't speak Spanish. Belize is like with Cayman Islands, Jamaica, the Virgin Islands, so on and so forth. They speak English. And people think that because it's Central America, they speak Spanish. But no.
They must have been a coffee republic or something. I believe there's a lot of Belizean coffee out there.
They have very nice coral reefs for diving and snorkeling. And so does the Cayman Islands. Barbados is an independent former British colony too, right, Ron?
Yes, Grenada. I'm putting notes while y'all are talking. I didn't want to interrupt y'all.
Now I've heard, what is it? What's that B one? Not Aruba. Is it Bermuda?
Bermuda. Oh, that's off of the Carolinas.
Real small island, and you have to be a citizen to be there. So, say you were an American, James. Say you met, a Burmese, love interest. You got married. You had, a tryst, and that kind of fell apart, and you end up kind of getting a divorce, like a Haitian divorce. Why not? If you're out there,
I don't think there's too many women out there to go around. So if you happen to find one, a Bermudian wearing Bermuda shorts, I guess it might work out.
Well, anyway, shorts besides the point. If you had a short relationship and you've been cut off, and you've gotten a divorce, you've been served your papers. You got to leave the island. You can't stay. You own a house, you're out of luck. You're off the island.
You mean there's no tourism there? You have to be
It's a whole thing, but you can't live there anymore if you're no longer married to a citizen.
Because they have limited space, perhaps. Because it's like
Canadians, I think most Canadians spend 6 months out of the year in America, but if they stay longer than that 6 months in their van or what have you, they can't come back. They've broken the law. So, they're usually on that border at the 180-day mark, or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, they got that triangle. That's what they named the triangle after it.
Now, we're about to do our scores, y'all. Now, Bermuda, the island country of Bermuda, is still a British territory because they let the people vote. They said, do you want to become independent? And they said, I'm going to let you back in, Ronnie, but we have to rotate people in with we got 7 people for 6 slots. That's the problem. They said, no, we don't want to be an independent country because we like being subsidized by the British. Plus, they don't tell us what to do. So we get the best benefit. We can do it whatever we want, and they pay for everything. So
I should, since it's Veterans Day, before I lose my screen time here, I should shout out the veterans and show off my favorite veteran. I don't know if he was actually in the Army, but I've got Sergeant Slaughter here on my T-shirt.
Nice.
Awesome. I like the Iron Sheik.
Heavyweight champion, Sergeant Slaughter. And I got Macho Man, too.
Yeah. Snap it to a slim.
yeah, also real fast, just because we're doing history while we're drinking, which can be trepidatious, but we're doing also Bermuda is still a British territory. The Turks and Caicos Islands, the Cayman Islands, the island of Montserrat, which was half blown up by a volcano, and Anguilla Island is a British territory still today. So yeah, some of those places are so tiny they can't really afford to be independent because they're too tiny. Okay, or they just don't want to do it. Anyway,
And the airstrip is probably real short. Like the plane goes from one end of the island, almost goes into the ocean. Like, airlines, major airlines.
well, when we went to the Bahama Islands, they did not have jet planes landing there because they didn't have enough runway space for the jet plane to land without going off the island. So you had to get on a propeller plane and fly to the Bahamas from Miami because it couldn't handle jet planes. So we had to get off American Airlines and get on American Eagle and fly. But I mean, it didn't take long. But I had never been on a propeller plane before, you see, and it was interesting. And then they said, would anyone like to drink Heineken beer? And we all said, yeah. All right. Now I'm going to give.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what happened. And it was so low. It was flying over so low that you could make out each island. You could see what island you were flying over. And you could almost see like the roads and like cars going down the road. It was pretty neat. All right. Now, here's Elysian, the Great Pumpkin. And I'm going to score it a 94 out of 100. It's an A. I love it. And although it's not my favorite of the group, but how can you have 4 favorites, right? I got a best, a second best, third, and a fourth. And this is still really nice. So that's that. Now I'm going to drop off, so I'll still be monitoring. When I drop off, people say, what happened to him? Nothing happened to me. I have to let the other people talk. So I'm finished, y'all. Dawn Busters tomorrow. Get ready tomorrow for bourbon, 2 bourbons. Tennessee whiskey bourbon versus a Kentucky straight bourbon, a big battle. I don't know who's going to win, but I know that I'm gonna enjoy doing it. Then we might do a second showdown later in the day. Friday night is Alex Food. I think it's a wild card, right?
Alex's Food Friday is tomato soup with grilled cheese sandwiches, enchilada, beer.
Okay. Huh. And then Stout Sunday morning, and in a few minutes, Michael and John and Nilly and whoever else has Goose Island Bourbon County Stout from 2018 is going to examine that. But now Bumpy Road, I'm going to get off, and Ronnie's going to get on, and then Ronnie's going to give his score, and then Bumpy Road, and then Beer Man, and then Michael, and then Nina, and then James, and then that'll be it.
All right, Ronnie, it's you.
I give it an 85. I want to say, Nina, Sergeant Slaughter actually switched sides. He played for the Iraqis in the Persian Gulf War. So he was an American patriot from the 70s and the 80s, and then during the first Iraq War, he switched sides.
Really? I don't remember him being an Iraqi citizen.
Right, Jane? He was an Iraqi sympathizer.
He turned heel. Ronnie's absolutely right. Was Adnan LKC, I think, was their manager.
He wasn't Israeli.
No, he switched sides. He was cheering for the Iraqis in the Persian Gulf War.
People do weird things. We lost Cat Stevens.
And then what happened was he lost to Hulk Hogan, and I think it was WrestleMania, was it 7? And then after that he found his way back to America, and he became a patriot again.
I like the Iraqi uniforms are nice, like Christmas color, dark green with red. Yeah, like China.
Well, Sergeant Slaughter has he's tainted. His run is tainted.
The Chinese peacetime uniforms, I believe, are like an orange-yellow color, which I'm pretty sure symbolizes victory. So
yeah, I was thinking of the Chairman Mao style, the olive drab with red. Yeah, that,
I certainly don't carry pictures of General Mao.
I was watching, my friend in China showed me from CCTV a military parade that happened recently where they were showing off all their weapons and technology and missiles, and you see like it looked like 1 billion soldiers, men, male and female, marching with the dark drab green and the red and everything. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. They have a space program that the U.S. media doesn't talk about either. That's
Yeah, because I think we're embarrassed to bring up that concept. We're gonna.
they will throw MSG in your eyes.
For my Haiki rice saison brew, I want to say, is it the most elaborate, sophisticated saison out there? No, it's not. But all the flavors that were in it were nice. They worked together. This is a very approachable saison, I would say. So it's easy to drink. I wouldn't mind having another one right after having one. So sometimes saisons can just be too much. They either go way too funky or they're just flavors don't work together. This one, it just worked. It worked together. I'm gonna give it a 95 out of 100. And it looks like the polls for the Multi Monday have definitely leaned towards the Rausch beer, which is a German smoked beer. So it'll be a Rausch style beer for Multi Monday on 11/16. Cheers. Thanks for having me on, Ron.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'd like to try that beer with some roast poke fried lice.
Oh yeah. Do you want to? I just shout out your stuff, or are we doing that?
Go for it, beer man.
Oh, just keep going. Okay. So this is called "When Doves Cry." I kind of like "When Doves Cry" by Purple Dude.
Purple
What's
Rain.
his name? Purple Rain guy.
Right.
Is what this is called. Yes. So Sauvignon Blanc grapes with the Nelson Sauvin hops really worked perfect. It was very harmonious blend. It worked excellent, actually. The dry white grape bitterness, then the Eldorado hops with the pear, watermelon, kind of stone fruity kind of feel, aroma, flavor, and then you're getting a lemon, orange, like grapefruit. It was really nice. I was looking on Untapped, and there's a lot of reviews on what they saw, and they were very surprised with how it didn't sound good at first, but then they had it, and they're just like, whoa, eyes are wide open. So it seemed to work really perfect. The dry finish seemed to very interesting it was just a very interesting Pilsner. I scored this a 95 out of 100. I liked the uniqueness of it. I thought it went super well. I thought it was an interesting and compatible mix. So more power to these dudes that came up with this crazy ass beer. But cheers. Yeah. 95 out of 100. Right on. Thank you, Ron.
Okay.
And shout outs.
Any
Oh,
chat?
and, beer and cheese, 8 o'clock is open table. So bring your any cheese, any beer really. 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Wednesday will be a kind of a mix. I don't know what it is yet. It's all based on what I can find. So we'll do a recipe and review on 6 o'clock Eastern. So as far as my lives, and then videos are pushed out based on when I feel like it. But I try every day that I'm not doing lives. Yeah. Cheers.
Okay. On the New Belgium Sparkling Lime Lager, I am giving it an 87 B+. It's good. Maybe a little one note was the one detraction, but it's a good lawnmower beer if you want in the warm weather, and it's refreshing and natural lime kind of flavor. Directly following this on John and Nilly's channel, Bumpy, myself, and Miscellaneous and John will be doing a review of the 2018 Goose Island Bourbon County Stout.
Nice.
So if anybody has one, feel free to come on.
Is he still doing this with the YouTube's acting the way it is?
I'm not sure, but so far he was texting me, and I think we're still on. So it looks like that's the way it is.
Nice.
But once we get off Bumpy, just look for his link because I think he'll have his link out. We still got to get Nina's score and James's score.
All right. Let me see. You want to go, James? We can go clockwise, or I guess that'd be counterclockwise. I'll go next. So I'm going to go for I want to say a 94 with my Narragansett. I feel like I've given that score before. I want to put it in a good, stable position and represent Narragansett. Beautiful place, beautiful beer, quality product. Check it out if you haven't already. 94.
Okay. James?
I would say that as rums go, 95 out of 100, comparing it to all rums.
Okay. Got it.
Wow, we had a lot of great scores. 90. The lowest was Ronnie's was I think at 85. We had all kind of 94s, 95s, 95. So we had the worst beer we had was a B, and that's not a complaint. If your worst beer is good, Ronnie's back. I'm about to add him back, but he's probably having internet. Well, he's got a tropical storm moving through. What do you expect? Okay, James, I'm sorry I kind of cut in on you.
So, Jay, I'm going to head out, but we'll see you on Stout Sunday.
Cheers, Michael.
Okay, have fun. Have
Bump
fun
out.
and don't drink too much.
Yeah, have a good week.
Yes.
Okay, have fun and don't drink too much.
I will have fun. Bumpy, I'll see you.
Okay.
He said he was going to have fun, but notice he didn't say he wasn't going to drink too much. All right.
What did that guy say? Drink that funky lager, white boy?
Cut the cake.
I think they.
Oh. The other one.
Now, Ronnie, you got knocked off. Ronnie's back.
Yeah,
Still-
that's probably the storm.
Yeah, Ronnie's beer looked pretty good. Very refreshing.
Take a
Did
look.
you ever find out if it was naturally flavored or artificial?
No, I don't know. I think it's probably natural.
There's a way to usually find out, but it's hard. Yeah, do you think if YouTube failed for a year, people would flip out and go lose their minds?
Yeah.
But
What do you think would happen?
Panic.
So let's imagine that. No YouTube for a year, and then all smartphones fail, and then
Nothing but flowers.
do you
What
think
would we
people,
do?
people would,
It reminds me
Yeah,
of
on
an old,
Facebook.
it reminds me of an old movie called The Cold Turkey, where everybody had to quit smoking. They were offered like a large sum of money if they would and everybody went berserk. All the
I like this guy here, raining on your parade. He's kind of crazy.
yeah, he's been watching for a long time. So no, let's imagine people would really go crazy. They don't mind wearing a mask and being told what to do. But if they had no Facebook or no YouTube and no smartphones for a year, I think the suicide rate would skyrocket because people would say, what am I supposed to do? Go for a walk? Go outside and
Oh, Ron, you remember those
Read
days?
a book, man.
Ron, you remember those
I
days?
have to drop because I have to go join with an
So
Ellie.
what's
Jesse.
John and Ellie's having a bourbon barrel aged stout? Is that what he's doing?
Bourbon County, yeah.
Yes. Kentucky bourbon stout, right?
Yeah, Bourbon County. Silent.
Yeah.
Okay, Jesse, Bumpy Road, y'all have a good time. I'll watch the replay.
What is it?
Right,
What is
yeah,
it?
probably not gonna see
John,
the
Bumpy, and
What?
Right. Cheers.
yeah, we're not gonna be able to watch it.
No, I'm
We'll
gonna watch
see.
the replay. I'm gonna watch the replay.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You probably can't even watch the live anyways because it's probably not going to show up.
There are 6 areas of outage for the internet in U.S. says Channel Brian.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Brian.
Cheers, guys.
All right, Bumpy. See you later, man.
Cheers, Bumpy.
Yeah.
So
Brian,
what is it? It's John, Bumpy, and Mike doing that?
yeah, but they invited anybody. They invited anyone who happened to have a Goose Island Bourbon County Style 2018 edition.
When was it put out?
2018.
No, when was the notification for that?
Oh, about I'd say at least 5 days ago I heard about it.
Oh, okay.
Brian says I wouldn't give them a week. They flip out. I remember those old days when you would just find something else to do and you didn't lose your mind.
You know what?
now-
Those days are not bad days. Right? Sometimes I like to just
Goose Island.
I put the phone away, and I do go for walks.
Is Goose Island available at Aldi? Is that where I see Goose Island all the time?
Aldi.
Aldi,
It may
yeah.
be. It may be. It may be.
I never been to Aldi yet.
They have a lot of beer at the
Do
one.
they really?
I
Here,
agree,
yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah. I bought a lot of beer at Aldi.
Really? Well, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
There's two Aldis in the United States. They have
There's two?
Aldi, and then they have Trader Joe's.
Okay, they're related.
It's the
Yeah, I didn't know.
because-
I didn't know they were related.
I thought
Yeah,
that
they're all-
Trader Joe guy was American.
No, it was started by an American, but they sold out to Aldi in 1979. So
There's an Aldi right around the corner from me, and then there's a Trader Joe's in Tampa.
Now, I heard in
It's not that
Germany,
far.
businesses are taxed by square feet. So in Germany, there's a whole bunch of Aldis, but they're like phone booth size, like a little ATM kind of kiosk for groceries.
That's funny, kind of. That is
All
funny.
these in New Jersey have no
Yeah,
liquor.
I think you're right. And I think you're right. And
I never even heard of
I know-
Aldi until I moved here.
It's
I know
nice.
Aldi is owned by it's owned by two brothers, and they decided to split the company into Aldi North and Aldi South. So in Germany they have Aldi North. One brother runs all the northern German stores, and then in the south they have Aldi South.
Is it
When they
originally
came
a
to-
German company?
Yeah. And when they came to the United States 41 years ago, instead of having Aldi and Aldi, and they knew that was going to confuse Americans. One of the brothers
It's
bought,
already confusing me.
right. So one of the brothers bought Aldi. One of the brothers bought Trader Joe's, and so that's what it's called in the United States. It's called Trader Joe's, but it's actually Aldi. Really, that's why they look alike. If you ever go to a Trader Joe's, you go to an Aldi, they look alike. 'Cause
Wow. But there
No.
is Aldi's in the United States, and then there's also Trader Joe's in the United States.
Trader Joe's has more upgraded organic foods.
It's like Nike or Adidas and Puma are the same.
Fred
right?
Meyer and
Puma made
Cooler.
a more luxurious product. With
Are
more-
Adidas and Puma owned by the same company?
Well, they broke up. They were brothers. They decided to go in different directions with their.
Oh,
All these has appliance.
Kroger.
James is right. James is right. Aldi focuses more on budget products, and Trader Joe's focuses more on, like you said, organic and whatnot.
so who has the better beer selection?
I've heard Trader Joe's has some good beers.
They both have a really interesting beer selection, so I wouldn't say better or worse. It's just different, unusual.
All these has appliances and kitchen supplies, and
I agree.
Trader Joe's doesn't sell that.
Oh, okay.
There's loosely a theme at Aldi also. Like every once in a while, there's a Greek month, and they'll have like not falafel, like gyro meat or gyro or whatever,
Falafel would be Turkish, right?
or Israeli, all that kind of.
Well,
Even Costco has some good beer. Sometimes I'm in there. They have some good
All these-
stuff there.
I went to
They have real beer brands. They don't have Costco beer. They have.
I went to Whole Foods.
Yeah, well, they have that too, but
I noticed that Whole Foods has a really good beer selection as well.
I've
You
heard
got-
that.
Have you guys ever noticed that?
Never been to the Whole Foods with beer.
New Jersey.
It was the first time I ever went to Whole Foods. And what really caught my attention, they're very expensive. The whole
Jeff
store.
Bezos. Whole
But what
Foods.
caught my attention was
hole in
the
your
beer
wallet.
section is it's a very good beer section. They have a lot of good. It's better than Total Wine in some respects.
There's a lot of prepared food also at.
that says a lot.
There is, yeah, they do have a lot of prepared food. That's true.
It seems to cater to like I'm coming home from work. It's like
Yeah.
7 o'clock at night. I'm on.
But it's
my
not
food.
cheap.
make a salad, get a piece of cooked salmon, throw it on my salad, and I'm good to go.
Yeah,
They
you're
have a-
right. You're right about that.
They have a brewer that makes the beer. I don't know what the brewery is called, but Trader Joe's has a brand for sure. They have like a Trader Joe's kind of brand or whatever.
I actually
I think Michael Komarov knows. He's
Yeah.
talked about that before.
I went there today to Aldi and went shopping around and bought these. I didn't read the ingredients while I was there, but they have these chicken cordon bleu. They were like $1 a pop, and I bought 3 of them, brought them home. Figured, all right, I'm throwing these suckers in the hot pot, the instant, the air fryer for 25 minutes. I'm going to have chicken cordon bleu. I'm reading the ingredients. And those suckers are the most processed thing I bought in a long time. They were full of soybean. They were full like all kinds of weird soy flour. I ended up just putting them in a bag, chucking them in the freezer. I don't think I'm going to be able to eat those things. They were weird. But I've gotten some real winners out of Aldi. I actually got some chicken schnitzel from there, where they were real, just breaded pieces of chicken. Lay them in, a skillet with some olive oil, and pair them with a nice beer like a Narragansett, and you are sitting pretty. Maybe do a little sautéed asparagus. Oh,
Yum.
baked beans
Yeah,
on the side of that.
great.
And, oh,
That
delicious.
sounds really, really good.
It
You get good
does,
food
man.
out of Aldi.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, that guy said that both don't look anything inside and out where he is from. So, and
They don't look the same.
40.
No, they're pretty different by me.
Wow,
Trader Joe and all.
I bet you ask anybody on the street.
what
they
a
don't
way to
know
promote.
Aldi and Trader Joe's are owned by the same people. You would have never thought that, right?
Mhm.
I didn't know.
They-
You
I
look
had
at a
no-
pair
I
of
had no
Pumas,
idea.
you look at a pair of Adidas, you see some similarities there.
The things that you learn on
At least in
a beer
product.
stream, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't have
Product's probably the
frozen
same.
crap, frozen processed food at Trader Joe's like she found in Aldi's. It's all like top of the line ingredients. Trader
My
Joe's.
wife works at a natural food store, and even the frozen food is not processed. You know what I mean? It's just frozen. It's not like
What's the name of the store?
they're not. It's Fresh Foods is the name of it.
Is it like a local one over there?
It's kind of like a green store, like a vegan style store, or vegetarian. For the most part, they do have meats there though, but they're all like not induced by like a bunch of chemicals and this that. It's that kind of place.
Yeah.
So, but their beer is the same as ever. It's just all organic. It's all craft beer. They have a wine section and all that. But I mean, their food's good. I've had their stuff in my oven and it's tasted very good. It's a lot of it's tofu in the burritos, this that.
I like tofu.
I don't either. I like it.
It's good.
It's
I
flavored
can't eat
good.
it. It's just like straight up soybean. It's fermented a little
Soybean,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's still not fermented
If you
enough.
put the right
It's not that kind of-
ingredients with the tofu and the right seasonings,
Yeah.
it's really it can be very and it's good because it's healthy. So
I like meat too, but no, what you're saying.
oh no, I do.
I do love meat.
I'm not like a non-meat eater.
I like to eat
But
healthy.
black beans are a good substitute for meat. You can fry up black beans and breadcrumb and all that. I was actually you can make
Yeah.
a black bean burger. It's a
A
really
black bean burger.
Black
That's
beans
good,
are
too.
great, dude. I love
Yeah.
that. Give you
Yeah.
everything you need, man. Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I like black bean burger.
Black.
joy of cooking. Yeah.
Protein.
What do you think, James?
I use the organic black refried black bean for my quesadillas that I get at Whole Foods, and also Trader Joe's has all organic, refried beans, pinto or black, and then they have one with salsa, and I use it with the hot sauce and the cheese, the good cheese, and then but Trader Joe's corn tortillas are thicker and tastier than any supermarket corn tortillas.
Good
Awesome.
tip.
That
Now, I
is.
don't want to
That
brag,
sounds good.
toot my own horn, but I had an American treasure yesterday for lunch. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. Louis Lunch in near Yale University in Connecticut. I believe they invented in America the hamburger or hamburger sandwich, as they called it. Two pieces of toast, a slice of tomato, piece of cheese, and these vertical cooked burgers. They're cooked in a vertical oven. So, you know, you have like 5 or 6 of them, and the grease will drip to the bottom one. So if you're in the know, you'll ask for the bottom burger. And it's put through this interesting grinder when they make them. So it's almost like a little more chunky than you'd expect your normal ground beef. And cooked, you know, to a medium temperature that they cook them to, they almost have a roast beef sandwich-like texture to the burger. This is my first time having it.
I saw this place on the Travel Channel. I think it was that guy Adam Richmond. They used to do Man versus Food or one of those earlier shows. Either that or maybe it was Guy Fieri. But no,
It's a dainty little burger. It's beautiful. It's almost like a club sandwich without the center piece of bread, and this beautiful burger patty. It is, if you can get one, it's just awesome. It's
a vertical grill, like a toaster.
Yeah, they're awesome. Check them out.
Well, everybody can be saved from having a nervous breakdown because look at all the comments. YouTube is back. My life is on again. So
Nice.
I'm making fun.
We can go watch John and Neely and Michael Komarov talk about bourbon barrel aged stouts.
I'm making fun, but I watch YouTube all the time. But
I do. I prefer YouTube to watching the garbage they put on TV. That's for sure.
oh yeah, I can't argue with that. Well, James, I want to say this real fast. Sometimes when you're talking, you make a joke and it is funny. It is funny, but you'll say, well, people didn't respond, and you're thinking that maybe people didn't appreciate it. But I think what's really going on is that the other members don't want to interrupt and be rude, and so they're just letting it go. Because we've had problems in the past where we had certain people join that were sort of
Unsavory
difficult.
characters.
No, well, we had some of those too, but no, not unsavory, just difficult. And so we all try to take turns and you'll notice like the last 9 months or even maybe not that long, it goes real well because nobody's like interrupting and talking over anybody and being a jerk. So when people say stuff and it's quiet, it's not that people are going, "What'd he just say? I didn't get that." They're just.
It was also kind of.
Only Eric does that.
It was kind of honestly. I heard the joke, and it wasn't that good. Church's chicken. You're saying should be on in the church.
You think you're better stand-up comic or a sit-down comic?
Yeah, well,
It's a little bit disrespectful, to tell you the truth.
I don't care. How do I care? You know what? You gave me a new topic for my show. Thank you. All right, Ron.
I'll do the show with you, James.
Ron,
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I'll go. I have a long laundry list to go off on, and believe me, it won't be pretty. It wasn't funny.
I'm just saying what I believe, James.
Communion wafers in a church.
I'm calling it like it is, James.
And who cares if it's offensive? Come on, you call it like it is.
It's kind of on the edge of some people might take it as sacrilegious, but I'm kind of.
Earl Weaver
Anyway,
used to kick dirt on home plate.
Well, I got my friend. Her family owns like the biggest communion wafer distributor on the Eastern Seaboard, and she is a nightmare. But I mean, communion wafers, it's an interesting product.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but I would be fine.
Hey, Ron, I gotta get going. I'm gonna get on beer chugs. But
Okay, beer.
cheers,
for
guys.
joining.
Much love. Yeah, definitely.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you, Ron.
Good to
Cheers.
see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, only
Bye.
Eric. You go.
That's pretty interesting.
Eric is like Speed from The Odd Couple.
Well, Eric will leave and he won't tell anybody. He'll just drop off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eric will go like this. Sometimes it go like real fast, and it go bloop, like a nanosecond.
Or he'll say he's coming back and then he doesn't come back.
Then he won't come back. No, he's like Speed. You know the poker fanatic on The Odd Couple, Oscar Madison's friend.
But I like Eric. Eric's cool.
He all he does is poker. Speed. If you talked about anything else, he gets nervous. It's like, fanaticism. See, Mr. Terrio talks about everything. Talk about politics. Talk about science, American history, international history, beer,
Talks about beer.
booze. But no, he's well-rounded. You see,
Yeah. He talks about music.
he's well-rounded. I'm not saying he's Chris Christie, but he's well-rounded. But,
Chris Christie.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
how that makes for a more interesting humanoid.
But I do wish Eric was joining us on Wednesday nights. He hasn't been around in a few months, so
I saw Eric. When did we see Eric James on election night? Right.
Oh, he's mad. He's cursing up the storm because he doesn't like the results.
right.
And he's like upset. And I says, hey, what are you gonna do? That's the way the crab cake crumbles.
That's
Right,
the
just
way
calm
that's
down.
the way the theater is playing out. Let's just watch the theater.
Right, just calm down, let the lawsuits progress. Then when when he gets the right guy in there in January, he'll be happy. All right, the other people.
Well, I figure if there was so much voting fraud, then how come all those senators from the complaining party were reelected?
Because there was the fraud was that the ballots.
Why would that
The
be?
ballots say
Why
the
would
fraud
they want
ballots. No, I'm
to
gonna tell you the fraud ballots had only Biden
What's a
for
fraud
president, but
ballot?
and they didn't have anything for the
How do you
senators
get a
or
fraud
anything.
ballot?
They
Fraud
didn't.
balance.
They didn't.
Can
They
I
didn't
get a
fill out the
fraud
rest of the
ballot?
ballot. So
No,
the ballot had only Biden. It didn't fill
I
anything
didn't
for
get
the
my
rest of
fraud
the ballot.
ballot yet.
Wait, I just was bragging. Everybody wasn't talking over anybody.
There was like 100,000 of those ballots
I
that
knew
had
my
only
fraud ballot was
Biden.
late.
And nothing for the rest of the people. No senators, nothing.
They had
Just fill out the thing for Biden and throw it in. You think that's real?
How did 100,000 people just not vote for any other election, only the presidential? That's very strange.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Right. It's very strange. It's like I know most people don't care about, like Archie Bunker said, the meatball elections.
Well, when they actually go in to vote or they fill out a ballot, they're going to be like, okay, I'll vote for this guy, blah, blah, blah. They're not just going to put one little thing.
supposed to just get it over and just vote down the line, or whoever they pick, just go like I do.
But the thing he's saying, it's strange that there were hundreds of thousands of ballots that only had one person checked.
They only voted for the president. They didn't vote for anybody else.
Bunch of
They
knuckles.
got to get rid of that straight ticket voting. They did that in Rhode Island a while back. At the top of the ballot, there were two questions. Do you vote for Republican or do you vote for Democrat? And if you checked that box, that was it.
What?
It would-
What?
Straight ticket voting.
Oh, we now have
Ron, is that real?
marijuana in New Jersey. They
Yeah, good for you guys. You legalized it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and Oregon has legalized drugs across the
I don't
board.
believe you should vote by party. You should vote by
Or-
person.
Well, then get rid of it. Vote to get rid of the straight ticket.
I didn't even know that was
voting.
there. I had no idea that was there.
It's
Yes,
probably
Eric,
a problem in Florida. I mean, they
yeah,
pull
Eric-
it.
Eric did injure his voice. That's true.
That's right. Yeah, he has a really deep voice now.
Your vote is your voice.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, nobody.
No, it's really not. It's not.
I am familiar with ASMR, but he says my channel is premium ASMR. I don't know. It's not by design. But anyway, we better get off the air because I have to be up tomorrow morning for Dawn Busters Taste Challenge.
Are you doing the Ron Rico
What are you
tomorrow?
reviewing tomorrow morning, Ron?
Huh?
Is it Ron
What
Rico?
do you got on the table for tomorrow?
You want to know what I have on the table for tomorrow?
Yeah, let's see the bottles. Pull them out.
All right, and then I got to get off the air, y'all. All right, hold
No
on.
problem.
James, what are you doing over there?
I'm making fun. I'm talking. I'm mimicking what you said.
What?
It wasn't a very good joke. He's a little offensive, if you ask me. It's not a very good joke.
Church
It's
is
not. It wasn't a good joke, James. I thought it was lame.
wait for church is chicken. It's a play on words. That's all it is.
It was a lame joke.
This is a pun.
It wasn't lame. What's a good joke? I have craft beer. It has
I
bubbles.
love craft beer.
Here's a good joke. Here's a good
Favorite
joke.
thing in the
Wait,
world.
here's a good joke. Here's a good joke. Here's a good joke. So I always steal my material. But this joke is 2 peanuts were walking and one was assaulted.
That was funny. Remember what is it? Why do undertakers do so well? Well, that's ancient. People are dying.
What do you call a vegetarian with diarrhea? A salad shooter.
Salad shirt. That's if you gotta be careful when you eat
All right,
Indian.
now. We're about to get off of this wonderful hangout. We had internet, then no internet, then internet, no internet, but now it's back and everybody's happy and they don't have to go commit suicide. Okay. We have
Where's the
Dickel.
Ron Rico?
Well, that's not, I'm not doing rum right now. I have George Dickel 12 Tennessee whiskey sour mash. It's really good, but it does taste like Flintstones vitamins. And then,
Pickle.
and then I have Stedman Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, which is from Louisville, Kentucky, and it is really good. And I got this huge bottle at Walmart for so cheap, $19.99.
What's the regular price?
That's what they always sell it for at Walmart, $19.99. But I went to Total Wine and More. I went to Total Wine and More. It was $36. So
Total Wine they always try to charge you more, I think.
they have really good prices on some things, and then other stuff is.
I wanted to tell you, I haven't been able to find that Wild Irish Rose.
That's strange. Because
I've been looking around for it.
it's so common in Louisiana. Nina, you've probably seen Wild Irish Rose
I
wine.
haven't seen it in a while. I think the last time I saw that it was next to Cisco, so I think it's been a good while.
I went to the Publix liquor department. They have a separate store just for liquor, and I asked the girl, the cashier, "Do you have Wild Irish Rose?" And she was like, "No."
Huh.
It's at Winn-Dixie here. They sell it at every gas station. I'll even show you what a bottle.
And
is.
I thought it might have been at the gas stations that sell the MD 2020.
That's where it would be, for sure.
I was thinking that, and then I went to the one that I usually get the MD 2020 at, and they didn't have it.
Huh. I wonder who makes that Wild Irish Rose.
Richards, it says, right?
Richards.
Well, it really is a man named Richard. That's true. His name is Richard Sands, but he's real old now. I don't think he really runs the company. But Richard Sands, his father named this after him in 1954 when he was 3. So he's 70.
Yeah, he might still run it.
69 years old. He kind of took a back seat. But anyway, it used to be the official wine of the NFL back in the 80s. I used to watch.
Really?
Yeah. I used to watch the NFL games, and they would show people drinking Wild Irish Rose. They had a little song, But anyway, it's made by Richards Wine Company, which is an alias name. It's really Canandaigua wine. Canandaigua, New York, contains sulfites. So I read on their website, they were saying they use Vinifera wine and Labrusco wine, and it's a New York wine. And what was I going to say? Oh, but this thing here is spiked with citrus spirits. So they're probably taking oranges from Florida that are turned, and they're distilling them into some kind of like orange.
Like
Orange.
this Florida orange.
Yeah, like an orange juice vodka, and they're spiking this so they can get it to 13.9. But it is the natural color. It's like a rosé wine. You can see how.
So is it pronounced Wild Irish Rose or Wild Irish Rosé?
Rose.
Rose.
Okay.
But because that's a song, it's an old song, the Wild Irish Rose. But it is more of a rosé wine, and the quality level is probably minimal.
James, have you ever seen this before?
I know. I've heard the song, and I've heard of that. Yes, yeah. I haven't. I think I've seen it, but I never looked for it. But I've seen it once.
He's never victimized himself with it.
So when you said
It's a bum wine. I mean, you would find it near your train stations and bus stops, bus stations.
Yeah, what is it? So it's a bum wine, right?
That's a good observation, and that's why it's in this medicine-shaped bottle, because it fits nicely in an overcoat, right?
So that's why you called me out on it, because I did the MD 2020.
That was actually
Which was good.
it was actually pretty good. The MD Mogan David 2020.
I
Now,
like a few of the flavors.
Thunderbird,
Thunderbird is no longer Thunderbird is still produced. Night Train is no longer produced. Okay, now we have to get off the air, but James is going to close us out with a musical selection. And Burley Sullivan says this, look.
Okay, I'll twang it. Don't worry, Burley. That's a good name for a pro wrestler, Burley Sullivan.
It sure
Yeah,
is.
that would be good. actually.
Burley. The Old Spice had a aftershave and cologne called Burley. It was horrible. It smelled like burning rubber, burning tires or something, or hot asphalt. You know, the machine. Yeah, it didn't last long. They took it off the market. Burley.
Aqua Velva.
Aqua Velva. Yeah, Brute by Fabergé. Old Spice is still hanging in there.
They
I
are.
like Old Spice.
Barber Salon. You see it all the time.
Yeah, the main office and manufacturing used to be near my hometown, and then somebody else bought it out, and they moved away far.
Invented at MIT, Barber Salon.
Yeah, it was very nautical. It smells good. I mean, but not Burley. But you know, it was good. Stetson was very good. Jovan.
Wasn't Stetson's a supermarket back in the old days?
Well, this was aftershave in Cologne that Tom Selleck was in a cowboy outfit. He used to do he used to do some of the commercials. Yeah, riding in the convertible.
I use Aqua Velva.
Aqua Velva.
Was there ever a supermarket named Stetson's?
They were good. They were good colognes, not certain ones, for the price.
Makes a fine fragrance.
Clubman. I use Florida water now.
I thought you were more of a.
I get it from the store.
I got Aqua Velva, and that's what I'm going to use tomorrow morning. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Now, what does that mean, Tommy? Non-committal.
I think you committed pretty good.
Yeah, what was I not committed to? I don't understand. All right. Anyway, we were dealing with internet problems, but that was none of our fault. Okay. Well, what is this? Oh, it's the Florida water.
Yeah, it smells great. People wonder what it is, and I don't tell them. It comes in lavender, it comes in blue, and this is the original. It's really old. They've used it in certain like witchcraft ceremonies, and but it's got a lot of like very citrusy, as you can see, an exquisite extract of oranges, cinnamon, and florals, and I use it as a aftershave, but it hangs in there. It's got a real potent aroma. Florida water, and
James, that's because you're a real man.
I buy it. I buy a dozen of them. I get they're only $1, and people love it, and it's just.
If I see it, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, a lot of Latins get it.
All right. Well, Nina, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And James, thanks for joining.
You're welcome.
And Ron Rico, thanks for joining.
Ron, I want to ask you something off air. So.
Okay, and I want to thank myself for joining. All right. Well, everybody take care, and I'm going to go to bed. All right.
Good night, Ron. Thanks, James. Party on, Ron. Ronnie.
Okay, now we're off the air.